Barrahormid covers 628 hectares of the Tayvallich peninsula, and it's owned by the Barrahormid Trust and is under management by Highlands Rewilding. This is looking east from the west coast, and you can see how the underlying geology of the site has formed a series of ridges and valleys, and this supports a rich mosaic of habitats, so important that it's been designated as a special area of conservation and a site of special scientific interest for its upland oak woodlands, juniper scrub, valley fens and mires, and the dragonflies and marsh fritillary butterflies that live here. Over the water there, which is Lynavurich, you can see Tayvallich National Nature Reserve, which has more extensive oak woodlands than Barrahormid currently does. But there are opportunities to expand and restore the woodland here, particularly in areas now dominated by bracken, some of which you can see here. And here, in this view looking north, you can see quite extensive patches of blue, which are bluebells in flower. This plant is an ancient woodland indicator and is showing us potentially good sites for woodland restoration. We're zooming in now towards Loch Dún Caltain, which translates from the Gaelic to Loch of the Fort of the Hazel, which really nicely reflects both the human and ecological history of the area. It's now a wonderful freshwater loch supporting much life, including those dragonflies which the area is so important for. And it provides the cattle, which graze extensively across the site, respite on a hot day. This view, again looking east, shows clearly one of the rocky ridges supporting heathland and scrub communities amongst the grasslands there. We're now within one of those remaining patches of woodland, actually a small piece of temperate rainforest, which can be a haven for lichen, mosses, liverworts and ferns. This is now looking south, again showing the complicated topography. And actually the underlying geology is so important that this is another site of special scientific interest, designated for these Dalridian rocks. The patches of woodland here you can see are clinging to the more inaccessible steep-sided hills. They've escaped most of the browsing and grazing over the years. In the foreground, you can just see coming into view an area of salt marsh on the coast there, another very important habitat supporting a different array of plant species, and good hunting ground for otters. This is North Ardbeg, one of the larger old and now ruined settlements on Tayvallich. Old maps suggest it was inhabited in the medieval period and could well go back much further than this. And it was only finally abandoned in the late 1930s, the remoteness and difficult access finally becoming too much with our increasingly motorised society. Roofs were removed from the houses to avoid paying rates. Buildings became ruins and the village fell silent. One roof has since been replaced to use as an agricultural barn. This is Upper Fernoch standing stone, which has stood with this view since the Bronze Age. It's one of the many remains from the past in this landscape, which include burial cairns, forts, duns, old field boundaries and fish traps. All illustrate how important this area has always been for people, as well as the wildlife which thrives here.